Hi guys, sharing this Eloise Wilkin tribute here in this book. This is a very good illustration of hers, and there is an introduction by her daughter, Deborah Wilkin Springett, that I will share. I'm sure the younger crowd's not interested, but if they are, they can stick around. This illustration is from the Little book that I had growing up, and there is her signature, Eloise Wilkin. The award-winning artist Eloise Wilkin is best known as an illustrator of Little Golden books. Millions of readers have regarded with wonder and delight her renderings of adorable babies, winsome children, and cuddly animals in old-fashioned settings and delicately crafted landscapes. But despite her many achievements, my mother was incredibly modest about her work. The main focus of her life was her family. Consequently, we as children did not fully appreciate her remarkable talent. To Anne, Sydney, Jeremy, and me, Eloise Wilkin was first and foremost our mother. Eloise Margaret Burns was born on March 30, 1904, in Rochester, New York. She was the third of 4 children and liked to describe herself as the rebel in the family. When Eloise was 2 years old, the Burnses moved to New York City. Every year, the 4 siblings would spend the summer with their relatives in western New York State. Their father, Robert Burns, would help them board the train at Grand Central Station and send advance notice of their arrival in a telegram stating, "Burns Comedy 4 arriving at port." My mother once told me that as a child she was fascinated with bugs and would spend hours during the summer observing them. But during those holidays, Eloise would become terribly homesick. With a lump in her throat, she would stand on her grandparents' porch, gazing at stars twinkling in the night skies. Years later, these recurring themes of nature and childhood memories would find expression in her beautifully illustrated pictures of children, like this one. I'll let you look at this picture on the ending page. Eloise's family was startled when, at age 11, she won a drawing contest for New York school children. It was because of this award that Eloise's parents decided to send her to art school. In 1923, she completed her training in fine and applied arts at the Rochester Atheneum and Mechanics Institute, now the Rochester Institute of Technology. After graduation, Eloise and Joan Esley, a close friend and former classmate, opened an art studio in Rochester. It was a constant struggle for the 2 young artists to obtain work, so they eventually decided to move to New York City, where they hoped to find a more lucrative job market. A week after their arrival, Eloise walked into the offices of the Century Company and was given her first book to illustrate, The Shining Hours. That was her first book to illustrate, The Shining Hours. After 4 years, Eloise's budding career as an artist was put on hold when she married Sydney Wilkin on August 19, 1930. For the next decade, my mother set aside her paintbrushes and devoted her time and energy to raising 4 children. After this long hiatus from her artwork, it was difficult for Eloise to resume her illustrating career. My mother felt she had lost her ability to draw, but once she returned to the daily discipline of being a working artist, Eloise regained her confidence. The process began when her sister Esther wrote a book called Mrs. Peregrine and the Yak and submitted it to the Julia Ellsworth Ford Foundation contest. She asked Eloise to illustrate the book, which was chosen for publication by the Henry Holt Company. This was the first successful collaboration between the 2 sisters. Many more were to follow. And if you've been keeping track, Esther Wilkin, Baby Listens, Baby Dear, which is one of my sister's favorite, and Baby Looks are included in this collection. In 1944, Eloise signed an exclusive contract with Simon & Schuster, the original publisher of Little Golden Books, to illustrate 3 golden books a year. That's why you see so many. She did 3 a year in 1944. This association was to last for several years. With each succeeding book she illustrated, Eloise added a new dimension to her artistic style. And when the Polaroid land camera was invented, Eloise found it useful in taking pictures of live models. Her grandchildren were delighted and flattered when she asked them to pose for one of her Little Golden Books. To this day, Eloise Wilkin remains one of the most collectible of all the Golden Book illustrators, which is why they made this collection of her stories. The field of doll design was also included in Eloise Wilkin's creative abilities. For 20 years, she worked to produce a doll that was soft and cuddly and resembled a newborn baby, like this drawing illustration from Baby Deer. My mother was a perfectionist. I can remember a trail of clay embedded in furniture and carpets as she struggled to perfect a model she considered suitable to market. In 1960, Vogue Dolls Inc. launched Baby Deer, the first doll designed by Eloise Wilkin. And do you remember what Baby Deer looks like? Let's see if we can flip back to that story and find Baby Deer. There's the little girl and her doll. Looks like a newborn baby's got that pinched face and looks like it is cute and cuddly. There, the little girl was given the baby doll when her parents brought home her new baby sister. So there's Baby Deer. Oh, sorry about that. Got so excited about Baby Deer doll. Baby Deer caused a sensation in the doll industry. Millions were sold. In 1960, Nikita Khrushchev came to New York City to deliver his famous shoe-thumping speech at the United Nations. When he and his Russian delegation saw Eloise's doll in the window of FAO Schwarz, they purchased 13 baby deers to take back to Russia. Eventually, Eloise would design a total of 8 dolls for Vogue and the Madame Alexander Doll Company. Baby Deer and So Big were little golden books written by Esther Wilkin and illustrated by Eloise Wilkin that featured 2 of my mother's doll designs. And I told you So Big, this is a little girl from So Big. There's a doll in that book, if you ever get a chance to read it. Eloise Wilkin believed that an artist's creativity sprang from the very depths of her being. Her warmth and sensitivity, her faith in spiritual nature, and her love for all living things became integral parts of every page she illustrated. When she died on October 4, 1987, the world lost a beloved illustrator and doll designer. Our family lost not only a mother and a grandmother, but also the most extraordinarily gifted woman we have ever known. Deborah Wilkin Springett, December 2003. So that's been almost 40 years ago she passed away, and that's amazing. In the next video I'm going to share, but this is Eloise Burns Wilkin, the author and illustrator of all those little golden books. And I thank you for joining me on this journey. And come back and visit my channel again, and we'll share more stories. Bye now.